Hey guys, I was cutting some joints today and for another project. I noticed my saw was getting kind of dull. It still sticks a little, but it's dull to the point that I should just sharpen it. And I don't have a saw vise, so what I usually do is get two sticks and pinch the blade and stick it in the vise. And that's actually kind of tiresome to maneuver with that setup. So I decided to build something more dedicated, a saw vise, and I went and I gathered up some scrap material that I think is what I need to make it. Got a piece of hickory here, okay, and a piece of walnuts, relatively thick. These are all scraps from other projects. And for the jaws, I'm going to use this piece of red oak. It's just over 16 inches, and it's just under an inch thick. And I think it's about five and a quarter, just under 5 1/4 wide. Typically the jaw's about 14 inches, but I think 16 will work. For the hinges, I'm going to use this piece of leather because I can't find the two small hinges that I know that I have. And for the main body, I'm going to use this piece of yellow pine. It's just over 30 inches long, 9 inches wide, and it's about half an inch thick. It's also got this curve in it, so yeah, all scraps, and we'll see if we can make a saw vise out of this. I used screws for this entire project so that I can disassemble it and refit it if I needed to. I placed the walnut pieces to create a ledge so that I could sharpen my saw from a sitting position. Here I'm just laying out the position of the guide rails for my vise. I don't know if you can notice, but when I close this, when I have the bottom closed, close the top here, there's a little gap. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to close that gap. And I'm just going to measure the distance between the two pieces. It's about 4 millimeters. So that means I have to take 2 millimeters off the bottom side of each one of these, and the gap should close or become very close to closing. So once the major parts are all fitted and ready to go, turn my attention over to some of the cosmetic things. For example, rounding over the top of the vise, smoothing it out, as well as taking a little bit off the corner of the jaws. This gives the saw handle a little bit more room. I then cut dado housing for the two hickory pieces. My reasoning behind the hickory pieces is that they would help distribute the pressure of the clamp rather than focusing it perpendicular to the grain of the pine body. Okay, so I've got my two jaws here unattached, and I'm just going to set it into the vise. I noticed that when I put this in here, there's a slight problem. So it's a little bit of a wobble. As far as I can tell, it's because I think these jaws are too wide. It'll work here. You know, it works. But I think I could make this just a bit better by removing part of the jaw here. I think if I take 1/8 of an inch off this side and then just leave 1/4 of an inch at the top here, so that the part that's actually pinching the blade is much smaller, I'm going to reduce, if not eliminate, that little wobble that's in there. Hopefully you can see that. The shape of the jaws made what is an easy cut difficult. Very little movement in the middle. A little bit of wobble on the side. Very, very little. So to finish the project, I just applied a couple of coats of linseed oil and a couple of coats of polyurethane, and it's pretty much finished. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little project. I think it's pretty useful. I think it was about time that I did it, and I hope you take some ideas from it and make it your own. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time.